Well, this is big. I can already hear people wondering, Evan, why the hell did you buy a school bus? Well, this is why I bought a school bus. This is our new race car hauler. And somebody has already put all the work in to make it so that we can just winch a car directly in the back. This is a 1977 GMC school bus, and I paid $3,500 for it. And I got some big plans. It's a balmy, I don't know, -5. But for anybody who knows, I've already done an upgrade on this thing, and the project hasn't even started yet. Oh, wait. There you go. You guys have to be shorter. And that upgrade is a diesel heater in the corner. Now, the only reason why I didn't show that on camera is because it was cold as hell when I put it in. And I did not want to work in here while it was this cold out. Now, this is a 1977 GMC school bus, 35 feet long. As you can see, I bought this thing as a already pretty decent project. No seats in it already, and the back has already been converted into a race car hauler. You can see our sophisticated door to keep the heat in this front half. So, it's already a great race car hauler. Now, what is the project then? Well, the project is to take the remaining 12 feet in the front of this and make it so that you can sleep at the racetrack comfortably or camp in it. So, we got some work to do to make that happen. But this video is mainly an overview of what this is, what we're going to do with it, and sort of how we're going to do it. There's also another part of this. This school bus, which granted, it's kind of cool, not super ideal. If I go to fire this up for you guys, some of you might notice something. This is also a wildly reliable vehicle. But, come on, just start right up. Oh yeah. This is a gasoline big block powered school bus. So, granted, it's a 366 tall deck big block Chevy, which is a pretty reliable engine. It's just going to get probably 2 miles per gallon. I mean, it's going to work fine around here. Our local racetrack is about, let's call it 25 minutes away. It's pretty close. The next closest track's about an hour and 15. The other one's 2 hours away. We could drive this thing with a big block Chevy to any of those tracks for, I'll say, reasonable. A turbo diesel or a diesel would be nice. Anyone who's like big on the diesel stuff, I've never worked on a diesel a day in my life. If you have suggestions of like what would be the easiest one to put in this, what's the best one to put in this, I really don't want it to be electronics heavy. I want to keep this thing pretty, work on it anywhere, get parts anywhere. But I am willing and morally flexible to put something in this that's going to work really well. Well, it's sold. That's going to work really well, but also is just kind of cool. I really love oddball engines. So having an oddball engine in the bus just sort of fits our style. Again, probably shouldn't do that, but you know. So, grand tour. We have our sophisticated front to rear door system, which really keeps the temperature out here. this is our diesel heater. It's plumbed through the floor and out through that side pipe. Now, this was already in it when I got it, but it was moved up level of here. So I moved this wall back because my race cars are tiny. This has 16 feet of space back here, which is the same as basically all of, or the open wheel trailer that I already have access to. I already know all this stuff fits on that trailer. It'll all fit in here. Now, what's under here? Some people could probably guess. It's not going to be under here for very long, but, you know, more on that later. Just kind of really wanted to see if it fit. The front of the bus. I was trying to find shades and stuff for the front of this thing, and something else ended up being absolutely perfect. So, let me just trip over that and die. We have a Blue Eddy AC 200L. I was looking at a lot of generators, small RV stuff, used stuff, new stuff. This bus is pretty tight budget. I wanted to make sure whatever we used in here was pretty portable. I wanted to easily take it out of the bus if we're not using it. I didn't want to hardwire a ton of stuff in here. I also wanted to make sure that it would work well at the racetrack. And, I mean, I bought it with my own money. If it sucks, you're going to hear about it. But so far, Blue Eddy seems to be pretty good. I've been charging tools and stuff and whatnot out here. Running a shop vac. I haven't tried plugging the fridge into it and whatnot yet. But it seems like it's going to be great for camping. And bonus points, if you happen to have a 1977 GMC school bus, the solar panel basically perfectly takes up the windshield in this thing. Now, I want to make better brackets to like really securely fasten it. Obviously, you're only going to use this when you're parked. But I don't know if I'm going to put solar on the roof yet. We'll see. I would say probably. But, you know, it's going to work well for us for now. So, now come to our fancy water system. Now, the water cooler jug isn't down there right now. And I have an old nitro jug just going to the sink drain and a foot pump. This is not staying. Let's be clear about that. I'm just getting this thing registered as an RV. You have to have a heater of some kind, which we're good. We have the diesel heater. A bed, a sink, water system, a toilet, which, don't you worry, we have the best of combinations Amazon could buy. A cooler of some kind, Facebook Marketplace, and a power source. If I did the math right, and a cooking station, which, again, Amazon's finest. You're only supposed to need 5 of 7 things to get this registered as an RV. We have all 7. Now, our bed accommodations, for now, are pretty lackluster. This is just a camping bed. We want to put a decent, basically where this tape is, the bed is going to be raised so that you have storage under it. And there's still going to be a door that goes to the back so that, you know, when you're back here, you can get front to back without having to go outside. I like to keep this thing pretty locked up. So, I want to make sure that while I'm in the bus, you can get to the back, check the car, check ratchet straps, stuff like that, without having to get out, go to the back, unlock the back door, go in through the back, check things, go back out. It just kind of makes sense. There's also, we like to camp, and we like to travel. So, we're not going to have a car in the back of here all the time. If somebody wants to come with us, we could easily put another camping bed or a bunk back here. Like, we have so much more room for storage back here. It's 16 feet in the back. So, really, if the car's not back here, you could go on a camping trip with a bunch of people, put up some air mattresses and stuff like that. It's not going to be as comfortable as the front, but you have some more options. So, what's the plan? Right now, I'm going to be partially insulating the floor. It's cold out right now, but even, I think it's about -10 right now. With this diesel heater running at half power, I'm going to say with it just heating this front section, it is at least 20 degrees in here. It's pretty warm. We're not planning on going minus 40, you know, camping in this thing where you're going to really, really want to like put the crazy amount of foam that some of these skoolie builds get. We're not too worried about it. Obviously, we have options, but we're going to have a small wood stove in this. It's another thing that we're adding. We're going to have the diesel heater, and we have the Blue Eddy. It's not efficient to run an electric heater, but we could. We're not going to go too crazy on insulation. But we want to have a wood stove right here. We want to have a countertop sink area over here. Probably, I don't know, like a 6-7 foot wide bed that takes up most of this backspace. So like a queen or something. We want it to be comfortable. On this side, we'll probably end up having some kind of a couch, some kind of a sitting area, little table, something like that. And I'm really considering taking out this bar and making this so that it swivels around, so that, you know, you can sit in the driver's seat facing backwards and sort of hang out when you're not driving the bus. And maybe put some kind of a seat that folds down, or something that folds down and covers this area when you're not like in motion, so that, you know, this area here, or sorry, when you are in motion, so that way it can flip down. You can have a seat here so that, you know, if you're driving far, you want to like sit and hang out with somebody. It kind of makes sense. Now, let's head to the back. Also, sorry, just want to add, this bus has a cigarette lighter and an ashtray. This school bus for children has a cigarette lighter and ashtray. I'm just going to let that simmer with you for a minute. I'm leaving that in, by the way. Now, this is the front of our guy. You can see how perfectly the solar panels cover up the windshield on this. It's amazing. Now, one of the big things that I absolutely hate about this bus is it still has the factory door. And this factory door is a bitch to stay closed unless it's fully latched from the inside. And obviously, if you're parking it, you have to get out and leave it alone at one point. So, nightmare. Now, this bus is already painted and the roof was already sealed. That's going to save us a hell of a lot of work. There's the exhaust port for our diesel heater, which was the first thing I did to this because I wanted to make sure I'm working on this thing outside. It's been pretty cold the last couple of weeks. It is super, super comfortable in there right now. One of the biggest drawbacks to buying an older school bus, besides it being gasoline powered, are these right here. Now, I am still learning about Dayton wheels, but I've also heard them called suicide wheels, which isn't great. Apparently, these regularly kill people when they service them or work on them. And this bus needs new tires, which means I would have to pay somebody to put new tires on it. And supposedly a lot of people will not work on this bus. That is an issue. I got a plan. Yeah. It probably doesn't need super singles. But these front and rear axles out of a newer International are going to convert a lot of that stuff into something that will actually work. Not to mention front and rear disc brakes, and they work. And they're also almost brand new. As it turns out, bus parts are really, really big. I thought I was going to die several times getting those off the trailer. But I did it. It's also, bus parts are also super cheap, which is awesome because I'm super cheap. And somebody really, really wanted to get rid of those. And I really, really wanted to not figure out how to convert these axles to a modern wheel. We, in theory, should be able to slide those springs and everything, whole rear end, whole front end, whole everything. Maybe drill a couple of new holes and bolt that stuff directly to the frame. That's going to be good. I can't even get this thing all in one frame. It is so big. Oh yeah. Canadian snow for you. Ooh. I feel like Vice Grip Garage. This is kind of cool. Will that open now? Yes, it will. I'm not going to open that too far. I don't want all that to fall in. So, I'll just pick you guys up here and take you in. Oh, we're almost died. That's fine. This is our 366 big block Chevy. It is basically stock. It also has about every exhaust leak that you can have on a vehicle that still runs. I'm not entirely sure what I want to put in here. I'm really curious if people have any suggestions. I'm still going to use the big block Chevy in this for probably a while I piece together parts and whatnot. We're probably going to put the axles in at the same time as we would swap the motor. It's already going to be a part. It's already going to require some work. It makes sense to do it at the same time. So let me know what you guys think. It looks like a decent amount of room in here. I mean, I know people put all kinds of different motors in this stuff. Let me know what you would put in it. Also, look at this grill and like the chrome front bumper. The guy who had this used it to haul his tractor pullers, which is why it says going pulling on it. So this was already the epitome of reliability when somebody else was using it. We're just going to make it more comfortable and make it so that it works better for our race cars. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, please leave a comment and tell me how I'm going to do this wrong. Because I love learning from experience, but I also love learning from someone else's experiences better. Thank you for watching. Go build something weird like this.